Let's take the new custom labels feature and add error bars to them. And we have a timeline. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to build this timeline visual step by step. Let's get started. Welcome to How to Power BI. My name is Bas, and if this is the very first time for you visiting this channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all of my videos in which I share everything I know about Power BI. Now let's have a look how we can build a timeline visual without having to rely on custom visuals. So we're going to build this visual using custom labels, a new feature that was added in May 23, and we're going to combine that with error bars. And of course, we're going to take it one level up by combining it also with an area chart. Now, let's see how it's done. Now, the visual that we are going to build shows the growth of Tesla over the years, looking at the share price and highlighting some key moments in those years. Now, the data model is very simple. We just have a date table that's linked to one table that contains the key events, and then another table that has the information for the share price. Now, let's then have a closer look at that table with the key events. So I'm gonna go here to the data view, and here we have the data. So you see, we just have three columns. The first column with the event ID, then the description that I later on want to show in my visual, and we have here a third column with the event date. That's it. Okay, now then the other table just has share price info by year, month. Okay, now I'm gonna switch now to the report view and let's start building this visual. Now the visualization type that I'm gonna use is gonna be a line chart. Now, as a starting point for this visual, we want to show markers in the right place on a date axis. So that means we need on the x-axis, well, some dates. So I'm gonna take the date column and put that on the date axis, all right? And then on the y-axis, what do we need there? Well, here we can determine the height of the description that we want to have for the event, all right? So it's basically just a random number. And in our case, well, we have that one column with the event ID. And in this table, you just need a column with the values that will determine the height of the markers with the descriptions. Now, I'm lucky here because I can just directly use the event ID column, but if you don't have it, well, you can add a column like this. Okay, now, let's go back to the report view, and I could use that column directly. However, I like to use a measure because that gives us a little bit more flexibility later on. And let's call this one event y position 1, all right? And here we can use max min, or we can also just go for the selected value function, which will check, okay, is there only one value, right? And then it will return the value. So over here, we want to have the event ID. All right, and that's it. Now, let's take that measure and add it to the visual. So I'm going to drag it here on the y-axis. And we have a line. Now, of course, I don't want to have just a connected line. I only want to have, well, the markers. So we have to go to formatting, and let's make some formatting changes. Now, starting off with, well, adding some markers. And then, once you have the markers, you can make the lines disappear by opening up here the lines formatting. And then here the stroke width, we're going to set to 0. All right, now we're talking about Tesla, so let's also change then the colors to red. Now the markers are already there. Now we just need to add the description of the event. So let's go here to data labels and turn them on. Now, of course, we don't want to show 1, 2, 3, 4, the number that, well, determines the height of the marker. No, instead of that, we want to use the new feature, well, custom labels. So I'm going to go here to values, scroll down, turn custom labels on, and then we can add a description for the event. So add data, then go over here to the table. Here we have event description, boom, and that's it. Of course, if you want to adjust the text on that label a bit further, you can also use a measure and add that over here. Okay, now it looks a little bit messy, so let's clean it up. I'm going to get rid of the titles that I have on the X and Y axis. So let's start there first. So I'm gonna open here the Y axis group, turn title off. For the X axis, we do the same. And then here the Y axis, well, actually we don't need it at all. So let's turn the Y axis off. Now the grid lines I also want to get rid of, so that just looks a little bit messy. So we only still have the vertical ones. Let's turn them off as well. And then, well, we have the dots. However, I like to create a little bit of space there at the bottom and maybe also there at the top. So let's also adjust the scale. So here on the y-axis, the minimum, I'm not going to put that one to 0 because for me, well, it's a little bit too close to that x-axis there, to the labels that we have. So I'm going to go a little bit lower. So I'm going to put it to, let's say, -2. Okay, and then the maximum, well, over here, I leave it to automatic, or if you want to have a bit more space, well, let's go over here and put it to 11. If you have more events that get added in the future, well, you can always update it over here, or there's an FX button. You can also use a measure to dynamically determine, well, the ending point for your y-axis. Okay, now the labels itself, you see it's a little bit full, so I'm gonna go back to the data labels. Now here for values, I wanna set the font size to 8. And then here for position, I always want to show the description above it. Label density, if I put it to the left, not all of the labels would show, but I actually want to show all of the labels, so let's put it all the way to the right. Now, the only thing that is still missing then are these lines that go to the x-axis where we have the years. Okay, so that's the part where we can use error bars. That's very easy. We just go back to the formatting pane, scroll all the way down. Here we have the arrow bars, and then for that series, event y position 1, there we can enable them. Okay, now by field, and over here we want to have absolute. Now, what is going to determine the upper bound? The upper bound of the arrow bars is going to be the value itself. So add data, then here we can open up the event table where we have the measure event y position 1. Okay, then the lower bound. Now for the lower bound, I want to have it all the way at the bottom. Okay, so it needs to go all the way through the x-axis basically. So how can we do that? Well, with another measure. So let's add that measure. And this is going to be a very easy one because that measure is just going to contain, well, -2, because that's where our y-axis starts. Or if you want to be really sure, let's put it to -10. Doesn't matter because we fixed the starting point for the y-axis. Now let's call it then arrow bars start. And then we can go back to the formatting options and then go to the arrow bars again. And now we just have to add the lower bound and take the arrow bar start measure. Now that already looks like a timeline. Now let's just change the formatting a bit. The bars themselves I want to have maybe in a different color, right? So over here we could also make them light red. We can determine the width. Maybe you want them a little bit thicker, thinner, all right? We have the marker shape. If you want to go for different markers, marker size, we can put it up a little bit. And so just play around with these options until you like what you have. Now that already looks pretty good, but we're not done just yet. I also want to combine this chart with an area chart that shows the share price development of the Tesla stock. Now let's start by adding the closing price of the Tesla stock to the visual. So I'm gonna take close and add that to the visual, and that looks a little bit off. Let's see what's happening. Well, it goes over here outside of the visual, which means, well, at the moment we are measuring these two series on the same y-axis. So we probably need a secondary one because the share price, well, goes probably higher than 10, right? So we need to have a secondary axis. So I'm gonna put over here the closing price on the secondary axis. Now you see we have the sum of closing price on the secondary y-axis. Why the sum? Well, it doesn't really matter. We just have one observation for each year month, right? So if I would change this to, for example, average, see, nothing would change. Or a max, nothing would change. Now at the moment we are looking at just the markers, but I don't want to have markers. I want to have a nice area chart. Now let's play around with the formatting a bit. So let's select the visual, and here, well, the markers, well, do not just turn them off because then, well, the other markers would also disappear. So you want to open up that group, then take here the closing price, and then turn the markers off just for that series. Now the data labels, they're still there, so those we also need to remove. So let's do that. I'm gonna go here to data labels. Also here, do not just turn them off. You want to keep it for the other series. Take the correct series, max of close, and then turn the data labels off as well. Now it's not there anymore. Well, it's still there. We just don't really see it. We want to see an area chart. Now that starts over here by adding a line. Now here for lines, the stroke width is set to 0 because that's what we needed for, well, showing the key events. So I want to change over here the series to max of close. All right. And then here, open shape. And then the stroke width, we can put to, well, 2, for example. And then here, the color, let's go also for that red color. Now, doesn't look too bad. However, I want to fill the area below it. Well, for that, well, instead of a line chart, we can actually just switch here to an area chart. Or, maybe not, doesn't look too good. Let's undo this, Control Z, all right. Now, how are we going to fill up the area below it? Well, again, arrow bars, all right? Arrow bars let you do so many visual tricks. So it's a really nice feature. Let's do this. Let's go over here back to the arrow bars. And now, because we have the second series, we have over here not only event Y position 1, we can also choose the second series, okay? And then open the options, turn the arrow bars on. Then we have to determine the upper bound and lower bound again. Well, the upper bound, well, that's going to be the share price, right? So over here, add data, and then we have the closing price. Okay, now the lower bound is going to be the same as before. So I think I put it here. So here we have arrow bar start. Okay, now that looks kind of ugly. So instead of the bars, I would just want to have a filled area. So the bars I'm going to turn off. And then here the arrow band, that's the one that I'm going to turn on. And you see that looks much better. Now, of course, these other ones now go a little bit too low there, right? So suddenly they became visible again. Well, again, that is just formatting. So we just have to make sure that that second axis also starts at 0. Okay, so secondary axis, minimum, let's put that not to 0, to -2, I said, -2. All right, and that already looks much better. So again, arrow bars save the day. Now, what about the actual dates? Well, there we have basically 2 options. We could, well, work with the tooltip. So somebody would need to hover over the tooltip. And then to the tooltip, we could add the event date and work with custom tooltips. However, I'm going to go for a different approach. I want it to be visible all the time. All right, somewhere over here. But here it's already pretty full. And the thing is, with custom labels, we don't have an option yet to insert line breaks. Not yet, at least. Okay, now, so again, let's find a little trick that would allow us to put in the event date, maybe a little bit lower. Okay, now for that, we need another measure. So I'm gonna go back over here, add another measure. And this one is gonna be event Y position 2, all right? And here we can do exactly the same as before. So we say selected value, and I want to have the selected value of the event ID column, all right? And here, I'm gonna divide it by 2, all right? So we're gonna tweak the position a little bit of where the dates will show. Okay, now this new measure we can also add to the visual, right? So I'm gonna go over here, and then on the y-axis I'm going to have, well, the second one. So y position 2. Now you see these blue dots popping up over there. That's going to be where my dates will show for the event. Now, of course, here I don't want to have these blue markers, but I want to have just a label, well, with the date, right? So again, on the formatting, we can turn the markers off, but only for the second series. So here on the markers, I'm going to select event Y position 2, turn the markers off. All right, and then let's go here to the data labels. Also here, be careful which series you select. So event Y position 2. All right, and then we have, well, the values that we want to show on the labels. Now over here, you want to have custom label. And what do we want to use on there? Well, we want to have the event date, right? So if I go here to add data, Tesla timeline, event date, didn't work, okay? So what do we need to do? Well, we need to have a measure here, okay? Because with a measure, we can return a text format, and then you will see it will work. So I'm gonna add a new measure, and let's call this one event date timeline, okay? And here we want to have the selected value again. So selected value, but now of the event date, all right? And we can say how should it be displayed, right? So for that, we can use formatting strings. So formatting strings and like this. So maybe you want to have the month. All right, let's do 3ems, which gives you the abbreviated month name. And we want to have the year right after it. Quotation mark close, and close the format function. Now let's give this another try with that new measure. So I'm going to go back to formatting, data labels, values, and over here I'm going to replace this with my new measure. So over here, event, date, timeline. That's the one. And ta-da, there you go. They are visible. Let's make them bold so that you can see them better. Perfect. Now, if you're not happy with the position of the dates, or if you're not happy with the position of the descriptions, well, the value that you need to change is just that Y position measure, or that column that you created in your table, in my case, the event ID. Now let's make some finishing touches by updating the title, removing the legend, and also adding there a title to the secondary axis so that you know what we are looking at. Well, let me do this. And it looks like this. Now I think that's a pretty cool visual that you can build just using the native visuals, using custom labels and arrow bars. Now, let me know what you think. Put your comments in the comment section below. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I want to thank you for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, then check out these videos over here. See you next time.